It has been an interesting 4 weeks. 4 weeks of Psalms, 4 weeks of lots of turmoil around the world. And as I record this today, this is election day in New Zealand. We shall see what happens. I'll let you know tomorrow. Let's find out what God has to say to us from Psalm 29, a psalm of David. Give Adonai his due, you who are godly. Give Adonai his due of glory and strength. Give Adonai the glory due his name. Worship Adonai in holy splendor. The voice of Adonai is over the waters. The God of glory thunders. Adonai over rushing waters. The voice of Adonai in power. The voice of Adonai in splendor. The voice of Adonai cracks the cedars. Adonai splinters the cedars of Lebanon and makes the Lebanon skip like a calf, Syrian like a young wild ox. The voice of Adonai flashes fiery flames. The voice of Adonai rocks the desert. Adonai convulses the Kadesh desert. The voice of Adonai causes deer to give birth and strips the forest bare, while in his temple all cry glory. Adonai sits enthroned above the flood. Adonai sits enthroned as king forever. May Adonai give strength to his people. May Adonai bless his people with shalom. Two things. Firstly, what I would suggest is you look up the word shalom in your Strong's dictionary. We tend to translate it just as peace. It's a lot more than peace. It's peace, fulfillment, wholeness, those sorts of things. But the other thing that comes to my mind, it's probably two things at the moment. I'm just in the middle of listening to the Lord of the Rings audiobook, and I'm up to the point where Aragorn and Gandalf have confronted Saruman in his tower, and they talk about the voice of Saruman and how commanding it is. This psalm talks about the voice of Adonai, the voice of Adonai in power, the voice of Adonai in splendor. God created the universe. He spoke the universe into being. I think I've said before when we did Psalm 18, which talks about death and life and the power of the tongue. Proverbs 18 it is, death and life and the power of the tongue. If you go through Proverbs and underline in red everywhere where it talks about the power of the spoken voice, it's very enlightening. But this is God we're talking about, the God of the universe. The God of the universe spoke. And the voice of Adonai cracks the cedars of Lebanon, at that time the biggest trees they knew of. That's just the voice of Adonai. Just the voice of Adonai. What about the glory of Adonai, the person of Adonai, the power of Adonai? This is the God who loves us so much he came and died for us. This is the God we worship. I think it's good to remember, not just remember who God is, but to remember what God is. That's my thoughts from Psalm 29. I'll see you tomorrow.